Okay, we're living through something absolutely wild right now. A total revolution in how businesses get built. What used to take a team of 50 people, a physical office, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding, well, now it can be built by just one person, from a laptop, with an army of AI assistants. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the era of the solo architect. And hey, this isn't just a hunch or a feeling in the air. It's a real, documented shift in how things are done. Just look at the data. In a single decade, the number of startups founded by one person has jumped from around 22% to over a third of all new businesses. That's not just a trend, that's a whole new economic reality, and it's being driven almost entirely by technology.
So, what's really fueling this fire? It all comes down to a fundamental collapse in the cost of just getting started. Not that long ago, getting a tech startup off the ground, you were looking at $300,000 minimum. But today, a solo founder, using the right AI tools, can launch a business that actually makes money for about $5,000. That is a 95% cost reduction. It completely rewrites the rules of the game.
So where is all that money actually being saved? Let's break it down. A development team that would have cost you over $200,000, that's now replaced by maybe $1,200 in AI coding tools. That $60,000 marketing agency retainer, that's now an $1,800 AI marketing stack. This isn't some fantasy scenario. This is the new, real-world math of building a business.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's easier. See, while everyone is out there chasing the shiny new AI tool or the perfect prompt, most solo founders are, well, they're still failing. And you have to ask, why? It's because having a toolbox full of amazing hammers and saws doesn't automatically make you a carpenter. The problem isn't the tools. It's the lack of a system, a blueprint, to actually connect them all together.
So today, we're going to break down that very system, as laid out in the source material, the Solo Architect Framework. We've already touched on the cost collapse. Now, we're going to walk through the 4 essential phases you have to master: the consultant, the engineer, the marketer, and finally, the CEO. So, let's get into it.
All right, phase 1, the consultant. I'm going to say it right now, this is the single most important phase, and it's the one almost everybody tries to skip. Before you write a single line of code, before you even think about a logo, your only job is to put on your consultant hat and validate that you are solving a real problem that people will actually pay you to fix.
And the key to this is a powerful technique called anti-bias validation. Now, instead of asking your AI, hey, is my idea for a pet sitting app a good one? You flip the script. You tell it to be your harshest critic. You ask it things like, give me the top 10 reasons my pet sitting app is doomed to fail. Or act like a skeptical venture capitalist and tear apart the weaknesses in this business model. This forces you to see the flaws early on, to really stress test the concept before you invest a single dollar in building it.
And this isn't just guesswork. It's a structured 4-week sprint. You kick things off in week 1 using AI to scan online forums and find real customer pain points. Week 2, you use it to map the entire market and find the gaps. Week 3 is crucial. You have to get out there and actually talk to at least 15 potential customers. Then, in week 4, you use AI as a virtual CFO to see if the business model even makes financial sense. You only get to move on when you have conviction that's backed up by cold, hard data.
Now we're ready to move into phase 2, the engineer. So you've validated your idea, and it's time to actually bring it to life. But here's the thing. In this new world, engineering doesn't mean you have to be a hardcore traditional coder. It means you have to be a really clear thinker.
And you do this through a method called vibe coding. Seriously, instead of writing out complex code, you just describe what you want in plain English. Something like, hey, create a user login page. I need fields for an email and a password, and make sure you include a forgot password link. Then your AI coding partner just generates the code. Your most important skill is no longer syntax. It's the clarity of your vision.
But here's the danger. AI makes building stuff so easy, it creates a brand new temptation: feature creep. And that's why this framework hammers home the one feature rule. Your minimum viable product, your MVP, it should do one thing, and one thing perfectly. It should solve that single core problem you validated back in phase 1. You have to resist the urge to add anything else. Every feature you add before you get a paying customer is a massive risk.
So you've followed the rules. You validated your idea. You built a lean, focused MVP. You should be on the fast track to success, right? Well, not quite. Because honestly, building the product is the easy part. The hardest part is what comes next.
And that brings us to what the source material calls the canyon. This is the single biggest killer of AI-powered startups. It's that terrifying silent gap between having a perfectly functional product and having your first paying customer. So many founders build something beautiful, they launch it to the sound of crickets, and their business dies right there, in the bottom of that canyon. So, how do you get across?
You get across by immediately shifting your entire mindset into phase 3, the marketer. Because building a great product means absolutely nothing if no one on Earth knows it exists. Now, this used to be the part where solo founders just got crushed by big teams with huge budgets. But AI has completely, and I mean completely, leveled the playing field.
Now, the first rule of being a marketer is to focus on the metrics that actually matter. It is so easy to get distracted by what we call vanity metrics, things like website traffic, social media followers. They feel good, right? But they don't pay the bills. The only numbers that define a real business are revenue, profit, and what it costs you to get a new customer. Period.
To drive those business metrics, you build what's called an AI acquisition engine. It's a simple, 4-step process. First, use a tool like Apollo.io to build a super targeted list of your ideal customers. Second, you feed that data to an AI to write highly personalized outreach emails for you. Third, use another AI to create valuable content that solves the problems you know this audience has. And finally, you use an automation tool to distribute all that content. You're creating a system that works for you 24/7, just like a full marketing team.
So, once you have a product that works and a marketing engine that's bringing in customers, you finally get to enter the final phase, the CEO. And this is the most critical transition you'll make. You have to stop being the person who does all the work, and you have to become the person who designs the systems that do the work.
The absolute core of the solo architect model is the virtual C-suite. Think about it like this. It's a framework where you, the founder, design and manage a whole suite of interconnected AI agents and automations that do the jobs of a traditional leadership team. It is how one person can achieve the output of 10.
Let's make this more concrete. Imagine your AI chief marketing officer notices a drop in leads. It automatically alerts your AI chief financial officer, which then analyzes the financial impact. They might then task your AI chief technology officer with seeing if a technical bug is the cause, while your AI chief operating officer drafts an automated update for your current clients. You're not doing the tasks anymore, you're the conductor of this incredible AI orchestra.
Okay, so let's put all of this together. We've walked through the 4 phases: consultant, engineer, marketer, and CEO. If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that success is not about mastering any single AI tool. It's about building an integrated system where all these tools work together to create a true AI-powered business.
As the quote on the screen puts it perfectly, without a system, AI is just a collection of disconnected tools. You can have the best AI writer, the best AI coder, the best AI designer in the world, but if they aren't connected, it's meaningless. Without that system, you don't have a business. You just have a set of really expensive hobbies.
And that's the exact problem that the author of this framework wanted to solve by creating AI for Founders. It's not presented as just another tool. It's meant to be the tangible, operational system we've just been talking about. It's designed to be the connective tissue between all these phases, turning that random collection of tools into a coherent, revenue-generating engine.
You know, this new way of thinking isn't about having a huge budget. It's about being smart with how you design your systems. And to really drive that point home, the author made the entire system accessible for less than the cost of a streaming subscription. It's a price that really reflects the core idea of this whole explainer. The barriers to building a real business have well and truly collapsed.
Look, at the end of the day, we are at this completely unique moment in time. For the first time in history, the tools to build a world-class business are pretty much free, and the playbooks to actually use them are becoming clear. The barrier to entry has all but vanished. So the only question that's really left is the one right there on your screen. What system will you build?